Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Satellite Podcast. Expect chilling out and spacing out in this episode, because that's how I'm feeling right now. And I'm your host. What do you picture at my feet? Right now. You see this backdrop? What would it mean? Where could I be, and what kind of foot clothing could I be wearing right now? This is not necessarily to go in the fetishy direction. It's just, I don't know, it's a thought, right? Bruh. I downloaded the Shakespeare full plays, like the complete Shakespeare plays. There you go. And it begins with Henry VI, Part 2. Now, what? And then, of course, there is an explanation for this. Shakespeare, we don't know what the actual order of the plays is, because they're not. We just don't know. I think maybe we know the first time they were performed, but not the first time, but not like where they were written. Furthermore, the part 2 means that it was probably like part 1 is actually a prequel. So that's why, but still funny. By the way, I downloaded it and then I didn't read it, because that's how I do, baby. Imagine not connecting with art at large. It's such a pity if you can't actually connect with art, like any art. Like, of course you don't have to connect with every author. Of course you don't have to connect with every author ever. But imagine not being able to connect to anything in art, not pictures, not music. Well, I guess a lot of people, like kind of everybody, connects with music at some level, in some way, I guess. But stories and art can really help you deal with your own life, and feel like you're not alone on deeper levels. And then they can also be it can also be an occasion, a chance, a way to connect with real life people. And imagine not being able to do that through art, through media, entertainment even. That would be sad. But maybe you're satisfied with what you get in life if you can't connect in art, I guess. Did you know that Eleanor Rigby was originally, well, I don't know if it's originally, but it was performed by Aretha Franklin before it was performed by the Beatles. And of course it's different, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Last week I read the second book of the Neapolitan Novels. That's L'amica geniale in Italian. The second book is called The Story of a New Name. Fuck, now I gotta... Do I really have to summarize the general thing? I guess I could. I guess I could. And it could be good for me to do that. All the lonely people, where do they all come from? Two girls grow up in a Neapolitan, in Naples, in a neighborhood in Naples. That's it. First book is youth, childhood. Second book is youth. Third book is I guess maturity, being an adult, and then the fourth book is old age, I guess. And one of the two girls is more into studying, I suppose, and the other girl is more like naturally gifted. The first book is called My Brilliant Friend. So, and like one is called, the first one is called Lenu, and the second one is called Lila. And so and you know, their lives are intertwined, and you get to know the whole neighborhood. You know, everybody's lives are intertwined, but Lila's and Lenu's especially. And it's good shit, kind of. Like at some point I found myself being like, well, why are you telling me this? You could just, like, this is not the right medium. It should be a podcast and not a book, because it's, you know, all real, too real, and kind of boring in a way. But just in a way, like in other ways it's very much not boring and interesting, and there's all these, or maybe I found it annoying more than boring. But I mean, I read it. This is the second book I read of the saga, of the series, so I do like it. And it's nah, you know. But of course, there's a reason why it's a book and not a fucking podcast. a book among the other good things that it does is grant you anonymity. You can twist things here and there and not say the real names of people, because it seems like this is fairly accurate to real life, I guess. Yeah, that's the thing, it's there's anonymity, there's but I don't know what is real, what isn't, and so on. And furthermore, the writer is a pseudonymous, so Elena Greco isn't her real name. Elena Ferrante, my bad. Because the narrator supposedly is also the writer, the author of the book. But that's a pseudonymous, like that's not her real name. Elena becomes Elenu, which becomes Lenu, And the book is called The Story of a New Name, because at the end of the first book, Lila, the brilliant friend, gets married, and then in the second book she's married, and at the end of the second book, spoilers, she runs away. She's not married anymore. So it's a nice, story of a new name. A story of a new name. Yeah, starts at the beginning and ends at the end. Incredible. Fucking incredible. By the way, I read the first book last year. About, I think it was March, April also. So, I guess I'll read the next book the next year. At about this time. Probably, maybe. One very interesting concept found, which is quite central to the story. It's quite important. I guess we'll see more of it later, but it's this concept, like Lila sometimes feel like she's losing shape in a way. Losing her shape, yeah. And she feels like everything else also is losing shape. Its shape. And what does that mean? Like, for example, she, in the first book, she really cares about her brother. She's very close to him, and so. And then she invents shoes and gets him to take some of the glory, and then he makes those shoes to get money and to live off of that, and so on and so on and so on and so forth. And then at some point her brother changes and becomes an ally of the fucking kind of the mafia guys in the neighborhood, and he becomes sort of obsessed with profit and so on. And so at that point, like, there is a specific incident in which she feels that especially. And in that moment she feels like he loses his shape. And that's really there's something, right? There's something there in that metaphor of losing shape, of losing one's shape. When and I don't know, this is not completely clear in the book when that moment happens, but I think it's it's more or less when somebody does something unexpected and changes, and becomes not what you expect them to be. And the fact that this she feels so deeply, as though everything loses its shape. Like when she feels like somebody is losing his shape, their shape, she feels like everything loses its shape, and she herself loses her shape, and even her internal organs start spilling out and so. So it's a very felt thing. And why would she feel this? I feel like maybe she feels like she can control things, and she knows the essence of things. And this is a guess. Maybe it tells you more about me than it tells you about the book. Maybe. I don't know. But then when they do something she didn't expect, lose shape, expectations shattered, everything loses its shape. At some point I was annoyed by the constant oh, there's this boy, oh, there's that boy, and so on. But you know, it's fine. Like maybe if I'd read it in a different moment, I'd be like, oh shit, that boy, that girl. But I read it in a certain moment, so I wasn't, you know. How to be young, by the way. You know how, maybe you've heard before that since you're young, you gotta do some bullshit, like fuck shit up, cause you're young. Like, are you gonna fuck shit up when you're old? Nah, man. But, however, the most bullshit thing you could do, the most fucked up thing you could do, is not do fucked up and bullshit things. Because then you're forced to do them when you're old. And then that becomes more bullshit, more fucked up shit than if you had done it when you were young. How about that? And really, so what it really comes down to is do what you want when you're young, and if what you want is fucking shit up, fuck shit up. But if what you want is not fucking shit up, maybe you wanna, just like Lenu, you wanna really focus on your studies, spoilers, do that. That is the wisest thing you could do. And the best thing you could do. I want Leela to be my wife, okay? There, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Because she's not into studying, not into going to school. I mean, studying is one thing, going to school is another thing, or university or whatever. Two different things, even though they have definite intersection. Definitely. By all means, they do intersect. They do have an overlap, what you call it. Don't get me wrong. I know the things. I know that. And I guess maybe you knew that I knew that I know that. So, it's fine. So, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. It's crazy how voice can make you feel there. If you know how to access your voice, if you access your voice truly, and you talk through your diaphragm, and then you make your whole from the diaphragm, from your breathing organs, aka fuck, what's that word? How are they called? Help me. Breathing organs. Now you're like, in this very moment, you viewer are thinking, oh fuck, but I know that word. Why isn't he saying it? I know that word, and I can't even tell him because it's not live. And yes, the breathing organs, the big breathing organs. You know what they are? I know what they are. So let's just keep going. Let's just keep talking about this, okay? Oh yeah, when you feel your voice coming from the diaphragm, through the breathing organs, through your throat, through the thing that's here, the thing that vocal cords and all that. Voice, huh? Well, if you make it start from here and make this a big tube through which air can flow, and you don't make your throat, it doesn't crush your voice in the way that it is actually doing right now. If you make it do good, then it's good, But and if you make it do good, and then it's good, and then it helps you feel more there, which is fucking important in life, You gotta feel there. I wanna make a stage play about that, but I'm not writing stage plays, you see. This has not been a very productive week. And I'm going slightly mad right now, but that's fine. A friend of mine, a buddy of mine, who studies medicine, sent me a fucking slide of the effects of studying on your brain. And basically, I don't know which way you can. I guess it's like this, so you're gonna. I guess this is. It went up. Like if you study, your brain becomes bigger. The graph goes up. So use your brain because it's muscle in a way, and it's good. And Lenou knows this, or at least she's felt the effect, definitely. And Lila, well, I don't know. In her own ways, maybe. Because fuck it. Because Madam Moment. This is a podcast. You are watching. I am speaking. Meta fucking moment, baby. One day I'll stop being as meta as I am being right now, but this is not the day. Sorry. Meta moment. How do I speak to you? How do I see you? Who do I imagine you to be? Because I can't speak to everyone who watches directly. So I have to imagine somebody. Maybe I don't have to, but maybe I do it unconsciously. But anyway, I usually figure that a little bit less than I do. That's what I usually. So maybe if I've watched a movie, if I watch a movie and I've got something to say about the movie, then I'll take for granted that you've watched the movie, kind of, right? But if I just want to say I watched the movie and I got nothing to say about it, well then maybe I won't speak about it. I won't talk about it. This is so hard, so difficult. And I'm such a bitch. Oh, also, Is it just my impression? When I was editing the videos, when I was watching the videos back, I felt like sometimes I didn't. My eyes got crossed in a way. So, and that was the first episode. Then in the second episode, I started watching a little bit further from the camera. I guess that's going well. But sometimes I just speak and I just talk kind of like this, right? I think that's true. Nobody had ever told me that. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the way cameras work. I don't know. Gotta ask somebody if I speak like this. Maybe one day I will. Maybe I will. Maybe. We'll be back after the break. What are we gonna talk after the break? There's not gonna be a break for you, so I should just keep talking about the things and not worry about the break, and then just act knowing that there was a break. It's bloody perfect. We're talking about L'amica geniale That's the Neapolitan novels, and at the same time, some thoughts about school have gotten into my mind. I've talked about, school with some friends and studying, or that's kind of studying in school episode. Perfection. Studying is good for your brain. Lenou studies during the second book of the Neapolitan novels, because she's going to school. Leela doesn't really study much during that novel, because she's married and kind of a housewife in her own way, very much. But that's not. But at the end of the book, she does be studying on her own, even though she does also be working on her. Well, not on her own, but she's working and studying, which is something that is good that you can do. And universities are assholes. Universities are bad in a way because they fucking they don't share the knowledge. That's sad. We live in such a vast and beautiful world, and deep, and universities just take the knowledge of the world and keep it to themselves to an extent. Of course there's also some things that get out to everybody, but a lot also just stays there. So really, if you just if you want to study on your own, you can do that. If you have very specific focus, you might not be able to do that to the extent you could if you were in a university and had access to the university's materials, the knowledge that universities keep to themselves because they're competitive, because they're business. So what I propose to you, people of the world, is to share, hey, movies, right? People make a movie and then they share it with the world, right? And there is no university financing the movie. But then everybody can watch the movie. Huh? Do you think of that? Nah. Couple of things. Just details. First one, you can pirate movies. Second one, fucking copyright laws. Fucking bullshit copyright laws. So you can't really take inspiration too directly from a movie. Fucking hell. But there are good things about it, right? The good things are everybody can watch the movie at least, and can take inspiration from it in a non-direct way. Like, I can't make Mickey Mouse cartoons. I can put Mickey Mouse in my YouTube videos, and then get paid for it, and get paid in general, period. But I can, take inspiration from Mickey Mouse and see how he moves and so on. So at least there's that. So again, what I am proposing is a producer model for scientific studies. Like you got a group of scientists or other kinds of researchers, you know, can be in the humanities as well. And then there's like producer, you know, my producer figures who are in charge of getting the money for the project. Or even like a fucking, imagine a science Patreon. That would be amazing. Amazing. And so, you know, nobody has to pay for things that are not shared with everybody. And of course, the world is vast, the world is beautiful, also for the barriers that it has sometimes, in a way, if you really think about it in a certain way. That is true. But fuck barriers, come on. Let everybody know everything. And also everybody be everywhere. How about that? How about that, huh? How about that? No, but really I think it's interesting. It could be interesting. So yeah, Lila does the... I'm not in school, but I'm still studying, which is good shit if you like to study, which is also good for your brain. You gotta have a fucking... You gotta be focused though, you gotta be... You gotta go for it, man. You gotta go for it. And also you gotta make money, maybe. How about that? You know, to live, unless you're already rich, in which case I guess you don't need to. Or even, you know, do the fucking trick where you pretend like you have an illness and then let the stage take care of you. Ho 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 ho. But also maybe don't. Talking about money and owning and private property and owning things, you know, you're not what you own, but you gotta own what you are. How about that? How about that? Fucking. Oh, that's your new WhatsApp status. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Eurobeat. It's such good shit. Man, how come... links of a couple of channels in the descriptions. For Eurobeat remixes are so good. They're even better than original Eurobeat. How can that be? No idea. But Eurobeat remixes... godly, godlike, amazing, beautiful, beautiful things. The world is a vast and beautiful place, and Eurobeat is to blame. Such good shit, such good shit. You know, you don't want to listen to it too much. Like, that's not the only thing you gotta look or listen at, because the world is beautiful and vast, because it's vast, because there's a lot of things and you can actually you actually have access to a lot of things. Blah. bruh. Go to India, dude. You will know how to live. How about that? How about people like that? Fucking, you know? Hey, dude, there's no actual, like, how confident in yourself must you be to think that since you went to India and now your ego is in the fucking sky, then everybody who goes to India, then their ego is in the fucking sky. Fucking travel more, faggot. Or people in general who tell you to do things and they've only done that thing. Just like me, when I tell you to read a book when I've only read one book. That's how I do it. That's how I will do it for the rest of my life. Maybe. Who knows? You know, if I die right now, then yeah, I'll have done it for the rest of my life. I thought about a whole episode on dorkiness and what I mean by that, and dorky things that I like, things that are good in dorkiness, which is exactly the same thing as the previous element I mentioned, but that's fine. Why it's bad. But I'm not doing that because I was feeling weird and I thought about it too much. Because in this like, imagine worrying about this podcast. Imagine thinking about this podcast while you're not being filmed. By the way, it takes me about 3 hours to ship out one of these things because I gotta film it. I gotta re-watch it, but then I'll watch it at maybe twice the speed. I gotta re-watch it because so I can put the links at the right moments and so on, and then I'll like think of a title and so on, and so. Anyway, so that about takes me 2 hours. And then the third hour, guess is to do logistical shit, which I'm fucking slow at. So maybe I could pull it down to 2 hours, since I can rewatch the whole thing at least 1.5 times the speed. Behind the scenes, meta shit. Blah. This, by the way, is me getting a little nervous because there's still 16 minutes to go and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to fill them. Well, I guess I could talk about COAs. That's CYOA, that comes from Choose Your Own Adventure. Now, I'm not talking about the fucking books in which you read a bit and then you choose what to do, and then you read a little bit more and then you choose what to do and so on. Even though they have the same name, that's not what I mean. It's not too easy to define or it's not too easy to conjure in your mind the right mental image, I suppose. But let us say a COA, as I call them in my mind, I don't know if everybody calls them like that, is a thing, right? There's text, there's still images, and you gotta choose. Not between these two things, but in these two things. Does that make sense? What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, I don't know, fucking, you got, choose which night to be. There's blue night, there's white night, there's black night, and every night has a fucking, pluses, positive aspects and negative aspects, and there you go. It's basically just the, it can just be, but it doesn't. Not each one is. There's a part of some CRs are just like the character creation in an RPG game without the game. And they're fucking better than the RPG games. Fucking better. I'm telling you. They're so good. Because you gotta use your imagination. Some are like that, others are like push a button, if you do this happens, or you get these superpowers, or you're thrown into this fantasy world. It's just maybe you've seen like the like on Instagram I've seen boyfriend things, like I don't know, pictures of guys with like clothing and fucking, I don't know, like accessories, and then a list of things that they do or that don't do. I don't know, fucking likes cats, is drugged all the time, and then the other guy likes cricket and is dressed a bit posh, and then you gotta choose your boyfriend. I'm trying to broaden the spectrum, or like I saw another one. It was like choose to live without. Then there was like coffee, video games, cats, alcohol, superhero movies, and Star Wars, and you had to choose two things to live without. Now that was easy. Cats. No, wait. Two things to live with, and then the other things you couldn't keep. And it was easy. Yeah, it was cats and alcohol. Easy as a pie. Easy as a mice. So anyway, CRs. Recently, I've played one. How did parenthetically. Hey, do you play a CR? Do you read a CR? Do you watch a CR? No idea. I'm just gonna say I played it. But the problem is with manga and comics in general as well. Like, did you read a comic? Did you watch a comic? What did you do? Can't somebody invent the right verb to use in these situations? So I played this CR, and it was it's called New Pantheon CR. Link in the description somehow. And it was good. It was actually a superhero CR that I found good, incredible, but true. And I made a couple characters, and then I felt too bad because I was wasting my life away on dorky shit. Next episode, dorky shit. Still got 10 minutes to go. Fuck. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Not. I read some One Piece, or watched. I don't know. I'm at Dressrosa. Fucking One Piece, man. It's got some interesting ideas, but it's such a slog to get through. I'm speaking slowly so that the time goes away. Dude, I gotta stop saying that. I gotta stop worrying about this podcast. I really do. Because then the content is gonna be better. And you know, even if I don't speak for minutes, it's good. Because because the word needs some silence. Who says? I do. The word needs some silence. Silence is good. The perfect song is framed with silence, said Daft Punk. Really, in some song. Or just ASMR things, which you're not. I don't know how much that microphone picks up. I don't know. And of course, if you don't like the silence, if you don't want to be an enlightened soul who knows the importance of silence in this world filled with information, which, as we've talked about, I would like to be even more filled with information, or rather, I'd like the information that exists to interact with each other. With itself, pieces of information to interact with each other, I guess. So I want that, and you want that, because you're listening to this podcast, so you think exactly the way I think about things, from the moment you hear my views on things. But if you're not an enlightened soul, as I was saying, you can steal, you can iron, you can still skip ahead to when you see me talking, even when I'm silent. So that's fucking podcasts. Remember the drinking game? Drink a bit. Podcasts. In which you can just skip ahead. A good stuff. Fuck. There's this album I really like. It's called Il Sorprendente Album dei Cani, or Lo Straordinario Album dei Cani. Can't remember. Which is the name of the album is just the extraordinary, can be translated as the extraordinary debut album of The Dogs, which is the name of the band. It's a great album. I like it a lot. And it was on YouTube. There was a full album, and now it got deleted, so I can't fucking listen to the whole album. Sure, there are still some songs here and there, but it's not the full album. And the full album had some parts, like some just fucking ambient shit, like as if somebody just recorded the street under his house. Also, and I found those parts so beautiful. Beautiful. In the context of their album. But now I can't listen to the whole album with the... It's like the fucking parts in which people talk in the Tyler the Creator album, Igor. Some of the most beautiful parts of the album. For fuck's sake. It makes the album way more interesting just by existing. And now I can fucking listen to those of the I Cani album. Fuck. I'm sad. Because that album accompanied me for some time now. And I can't listen to it. I don't know if it's on Spotify, but fuck that. I'm not gonna open Spotify. Bleh. Bleh. Fuck you and fuck your albums that I can't listen to, even though they're good. I don't even know where to get it otherwise, because fucking torrenting and downloading shit, I don't think it's big with Italian speaking people. Or maybe it's some fucking Discogs, but I think you can't go get in Discogs if you don't offer some interesting shit to put in there. So I'm never gonna get in there. I don't know, maybe I could buy it. Nah. I don't wanna fucking talk about One Piece. Come on. Oh, one thing I was thinking about a bit earlier. It's not like One Piece and Harry Potter are amazing things. Oh, why did he lump in Harry Potter and One Piece? Fuck off. Not like they're amazing. You know, it's not the greatest works in the world. But they're good dorky shit. Sometimes, maybe. Part of the appeal is that they're kind of constructed. No, maybe not completely, like, maybe not. The authors didn't think about everything from the beginning, but they did think of some things. Some things are good, because they also pull from a lot of sources, I guess. It's not impossible to do. It's not like if you're a dorky artist you can't get to that level. I think it's doable. And I do think other people have done it, but haven't got as successful. Because it doesn't seem that hard. So, 30 seconds left. Follow your dreams, do the things you want to do. Get good. Fuck off. Don't bother me. Next week, episode on dorkiness, maybe. This was the studying and fucking school episode. Maybe could have talked about our school. Didn't do it. Fuck you. Fuck everybody, you know. That's